After losing out on his chance to win his first world championship belt at the hands of Shakur Stevenson, Robson Conceicao is coming for the belt again. Defending this time is Emanuel Navarrete. Both are exciting and highly skilled boxers about to duke it out in Las Vegas. Both represent the largest Latin American fighting scenes in this bout, Mexico and Brazil. Here's all you need to know about what led up to this fight. El Vaquero holds the line. Emanuel Navarrete was born on January 17, 1995, in San Juan Zitlepec, Mexico. Like many other Mexican boxers, he grew up living a humble life, and his family was also involved in the practice of boxing. His uncles, cousins, and brothers all practiced it to varying degrees. Following the family tradition, it was because of his brothers that Emanuel took up the practice in his childhood. With Mexicans known for their love and devotion to family, he continued boxing while pursuing the family's primary expertise in the construction business, helping his fathers and uncles out. Life was always simple for him from the get-go, as he continued schooling because becoming a professional boxer was always the plan. As a result, he got into it right after completing high school. Of course, he may have competed as an amateur too, but unfortunately, his amateur experience wasn't probably part of formalized or sanctioned tournaments. However, some sources report a 108-7 record, which is nothing short of impressive. Therefore, Naverrete had the right platform and basis from which to start a successful professional boxing career in 2012. He started off with powerful performances, putting his opponents down shortly after the beginning of fights. His penchant for causing real damage was noted from this very early beginning, as he scored TKOs and unanimous decision victories one after another. Interestingly, 2012 was also the year that saw him suffer his first and only defeat so far. This was a fight against the then undefeated Daniel Argueta, who failed to appear at the weigh-in. It seems that for whatever reason, the fight was allowed to continue nonetheless, with the caveat that Argueta would not be honored as the winner even if he scored more points or knocked Navarrete out. And that's exactly what happened. Navarrete lost in what was obviously an unfair fight, and Argueta's career soon fizzled out in irrelevance after that. Navarrete, on the other hand, continued to ensure his dominance of the weight class, felling yet more opponents with TKOs. Eventually, he got his world title shot for the super bantamweight division in 2019 versus Isaac Dagbo from the UK. He duked it all out for 12 rounds with his formidable opponent before winning by unanimous decision. He had finally done it. The Navarrete family name was honored, but he wasn't done with hammering Dagbo down, and he wasn't content with having a world title belt in only one class either. He would defend his newly acquired belt from Dagbo in his very next match, and this time, he gave him a serious beating that saw him knocked down in the 6th round and in the final round. It was too much by the end, as Dagbo's corner threw in the towel. From then on, Emanuel Navarrete reached the absolute peak of his fight game. Francisco de Vaca, Gio Santissima, and Uriel Lopez Juarez all melted in front of his onslaught. So was Ruben Villa, from whom he took the WBO World Featherweight Championship title, and then none other than Joey Gonzalez, who came to take it away from Navarrete after having previously lost a bitter defeat to Shakur Stevenson. Navarrete began 2023 with a bang in February, as he defeated Liam Wilson with a 9th round TKO to capture the super featherweight title and defended it from Oscar Valdez 6 months later. And this is where Robson Conceicao comes in to challenge El Vaquero to defend yet another one of his newly conquered titles. With the Cowboy having conquered titles in 3 different weight classes with impressive defenses for all, the challenge is going to be hard fought. Conceicao's quest. Robson Conceicao was born in Salvador, the capital of the Brazilian state of Bahia, in 1988. Life in Salvador for the child of a poor family like his wasn't ideal, as the streets were unforgiving. Therefore, he started boxing at the age of 13 to stand his own in street fights. The training was hard before he even got to the gym, as he had to walk 9 kilometers to his gym due to not having money for bus tickets. He woke up early in the morning to help his grandmother, who sold groceries, and helped his family by selling ice cream and being a kitchen helper. Nevertheless, he continued under the tutelage of Luis Doria, who also coached the well-known UFC fighter Junior Dos Santos. He would have to work hard for several years until the age of 19, when he participated in the qualifiers for the 2008 Beijing Olympics. While he didn't achieve much, it was the beginning of an intense amateur boxing career. In the 2011 World Amateur Boxing Championships, Conceicao won 2 bouts before a close decision of 18-19 to none other than the Ukrainian boxer Vasyl Lomachenko. That same year, he got a silver medal at the 2011 Pan American Games. Among other tournaments, Conceicao would go on to compete in both the 2012 London Olympics and the 2016 Rio Olympics in his home country to round up an amateur record of 74-23, according to BoxRec. The absolute peak of his amateur record would be achieved in the 2016 Olympics, as he became the first ever Brazilian boxer to win a gold medal at the Olympics. After that, it was time to go fully pro. He began by defeating Clay Burns in a unanimous decision, and went on to score mostly unanimous decision victories. Some of his most notable fights were against Sergio Ariel Estrella and Eduardo Pereira dos Reyes, both of whom he went off the ring through first and second round TKOs respectively. However, his fight against Luis Carrillo in 2020, although ending in a victory, showed the first signs of trouble, as he was knocked down once and had his points deducted for low blows. Such tendencies would cost him dearly. In his world title shot fight against Oscar Valdez the next year, the fight went all 12 rounds, making it all the more disappointing that absent those slip-ups, he had a very real chance to become world champion right then and there. Tragically, he also lost his next chance at a world title championship belt at the hands of Shakur Stevenson, even though Stevenson was deducted points for unsportsmanlike conduct. The match was controversial for more reasons than one, with much criticism being directed at Stevenson's conduct, including accusations of being a very dirty fighter. With his last fight against Nicholas Polanco being declared a no contest, Robson Conceicao recollects himself to finally have a chance at achieving what he wants the most, a world title. Fightrs Compared. Starting off with Emanuel Navarrete, he's known for taking a domineering stance in the ring that always puts his opponents on the back foot and under pressure. Navarrete's style can be perplexing for his opponents due to his crafty combinations that often form blind spots. His usage of combos is also consistent and overwhelming, and as a result, they often have his opponents bobbing and weaving, defending and counteracting, all at the same time. All this is combined with an aggressive style that involves him throwing powerful uppercuts and left jabs. Blaine Henry, writing for Bloody Elbow, describes, "Navarrete fights like a bull in a china shop. It's wild, it's reckless, and it's gratuitously violent." Nevertheless, Navarrete is also intelligent and has good technique to round up his fight IQ. All of this is leveraged extremely effectively by a 72-inch reach, which is massive in the weight division that he fights in. He often takes the first few rounds to figure out his opponent's style before launching his attack, making him highly adaptable, and believes that true champions learn how to overcome all different styles, and that's how he plans to stay the undefeated champion for good. Robson Conceicao, in comparison, is much like him. He's fast on his feet, and with his 5'10" frame, he adds extreme amounts of pressure on his opponents. He's particularly known for whooping wild right hands, which can be difficult for his opponents to predict and defend against. However, his defenses have proven to not be up to par when facing highly technical fighters that can outsmart him like Shakur Stevenson. Even then, it doesn't mean he's a mindless brawler, because he has a prodigal command on his sense of timing his attacks and punching with good accuracy at common human weak points to carry the day for him. Lastly, he's the most hungry he's ever been, since losing out on the world title belt twice due to unfortunate circumstances. He's not going to let a third chance slip by. Expressing his steely motivation, he said, "I have the utmost respect for a great champion like Vaquero Navarrete. He's a good person and a tremendous fighter, and I'm sure that we'll have a great battle. He has something that is the thing I want most in my professional life. I'm not coming to play. I'm coming for his title. Navarrete, I'm very sorry. I won my gold medal in my third Olympic Games. Now, I will win my world title in my third opportunity. I will take his title to Brazil, and it will be a bigger national celebration than when I won Olympic gold in Rio in 2016. I will join the select group of Olympic champions to win a world title as a professional," he added. Conceicao's taller frame adds an extra layer of challenge for Navarrete, but despite being shorter, his reach is slightly larger. What it might ultimately boil down to is the difference in age, with Navarrete being 28 and Conceicao being 35. Is he really going to let this figurative old man give him his first real defeat after the unfair one 11 years ago? It will be a violent firefight, like a real cowboy duel. Are you excited to see Robson Conceicao win his first world title belt? Or are you rooting for Emanuel Navarrete to make yet another successful defense? Leave us a like and subscribe if you agree with our assessment of this showdown. We'll see you again when the dust settles on the canvas.